Imagine waking up on a Tuesday morning in 1952. No smartphones, no social media, no streaming. Just the smell of coffee, the crackle of a radio, and a world that moved at a completely different pace. This is what that world actually looked like. 1952 sits right at the heart of what many Americans call the Golden Age. World War II was behind them, the economy was growing faster than anyone had dreamed, and for millions of ordinary families, life had never felt more full of possibility. But what did that life actually look like, day by day, hour by hour? That's exactly what we're going to show you today. Stay with us until the end, because the last chapter of this story might surprise you the most. The day in a typical American home in 1952 started early. Most families woke before 7. The father dressed for work. A suit and tie was not a special occasion. It was simply Tuesday. The kitchen was the center of the morning. Mothers, and in 1952 it was almost always the mother, would already be at the stove. Eggs, bacon, toast, sometimes oatmeal on colder mornings. A glass of fresh milk delivered that morning by the milkman who came before sunrise. There were no microwaves, no drive-thrus. Breakfast was something you made and something you ate together. The kitchen in 1952 was a different world. Pastel colors were everywhere: mint green, butter yellow, soft pink. Refrigerators were small by today's standards, but families needed less space because almost everything was bought fresh, almost every single day. Step outside the front door in 1952, and the neighborhood itself told a story. Sidewalks were full of people who knew each other. Children walked to school alone, safely, sometimes a mile or more. The corner store was not a memory yet. It was 2 blocks away, and the man who ran it knew your name, your family, and probably what you were making for dinner. Nobody locked their front door during the day, not because people were naive, but because the community itself was the security system. Cars were beginning to appear on every street, long, chrome-heavy, beautifully excessive machines in colors that seem almost impossible today: coral pink, turquoise blue, cream, and burgundy two-tones. Filling up cost about 20 cents a gallon. 1952 was an extraordinary moment in American economic history. Unemployment sat below 3%. The average family income was around $3,900 a year, and with that income, you could buy a new home, a new car, and still have money left to save. Most men worked in manufacturing, retail, or trades. A job in 1952 was something you expected to keep for decades. Not because the law required it, but because that was simply how the relationship between employer and worker worked. Women were entering the workforce in growing numbers, but the dominant image of 1952 was still the housewife. And that role, often dismissed by later generations, was, in 1952, a genuinely full-time occupation. Cooking from scratch, cleaning without modern appliances, managing a household budget to the penny. It was work, hard work. It just didn't come with a paycheck. And here's what most people don't realize about 1952. The single most transformative technology in American history was sitting in the living room of only about 15% of homes: television. By the end of this decade, it would be in nearly every home in America. But in 1952, most families still gathered around the radio. And what they heard on that radio was about to change everything. Friday and Saturday nights in 1952 had a rhythm that feels almost foreign today: the drive-in movie theater. You pulled in, hung the speaker on your window, and watched a double feature under the open sky. For teenagers, it was the most sophisticated social experience imaginable. For families, it was affordable. For 50 cents per carload, you got 4 hours of entertainment. At home, if you were among the lucky few with a television set, you watched a small black and white screen for a few hours in the evening. For most families, entertainment was something you made. You played cards. You sat on the porch. You visited neighbors without calling first, because just dropping by was not rude in 1952. It was normal. There's something that photographs and footage can show you about 1952, but can't quite capture: the feeling. People who lived through it, the ones still alive to remember, describe it with a word you don't hear much anymore: secure. Not perfect, not without its injustices, and 1952 had many. Segregation was the law in much of the country. Opportunities were not equal. But within the bubble of the American suburb, for those who had access to it, there was a sense that things were stable, that tomorrow would look like today, that the future was something to look forward to, not something to be afraid of. If this look back at 1952 brought back a memory, or gave you a window into a world you never got to see, leave a comment below. Tell us, what year would you most want to visit? And if you want to keep traveling through time with us, subscribe to Timeless Echoes. We publish new historical footage every week, colorized, narrated, and brought back to life.